Hi, everybody, and welcome to Dem Wise Girls. Hey, ladies, how are you doing? What's going on? Hi, everybody. Hi to our followers, our friends, our family, everybody. How y'all doing today?
What's up?
How you doing? We should do that. That should be our new thing for the year. How you doing? Good. Work is still work. I've been back for about a week. So, like we all know, the numbers are going off top the roof. Omicron or Ramadan, whatever it is.
Oh, I just want to call it O.
Oh, there you go. The big O. Go around. So far so good. We still no closures yet. No school. No classroom have closed yet. But we only in still week one since we've been back. What else? I'm still home. I mean, not home. Coming home from work, and that's about it. I think. Oh, so I call myself being a manicurist at home since I was home for the last 2 weeks. I took off all my nails. Okay.
You use a Metro card?
No, girl, that hurts. That hurts. It actually hurts your nails.
Oh, because I used to use a Metro card and take them on.
Girl, no, that hurts your nail bed. So actually, I didn't have tips. I just had.
Those were your real nails. Oh, that's different. I thought it was tips.
So I was soaking for like. It took a day and a half for this hand. It took another day and a half of this hand, and I just haven't gotten to go back and get off my fingernails. But I'm letting my nails rest for a bit because they do kind of feel a little sore. Like I think I filed them too hard. Sometimes that hurts. So I'm gonna let them breathe and take these little friends off. Other than that, we're good. Mommy's fine. Mommy's in the clear. We all good. Yeah, that's about it. What about you, La? How's the baby?
The baby's good. I would have brought him on tonight, but he's with his dad sleep. So another day. But it's nice to just sit and talk with you ladies and not be interrupted by a little boss. I wanted to say something because it's been on my mind, a lot of times, people that don't have children or couples that don't have children or older parents that children are grown, they don't understand moms, and I shouldn't say they don't understand moms. They don't understand moms' schedules. So I appreciate you guys working with me and being there for me because, being a mom is a real job. Contrary to what people think, oh, she's just at home chilling with her kids.
No, it's a lot of work.
I'm at home working. I change diapers because my son is breastfed. I change diapers about 2 diapers per hour, maybe 3 diapers per hour. That's on top of taking care of his sister, nursing, trying to do household chores. And so reality, you do lose yourself in that. You forget who you are, what you want in your life. It becomes all of what they want. In terms of television, you don't watch your own shows anymore. I watch shows around my daughter, like playing or her dad being around where she's not controlling what I can watch. So I want to put a little word out to the moms. We feel you. We know what you're going through. And thank the two of you and the other wise girls that are unseen behind the scenes for always being there for me since I've had my children. So thank you.
You're so welcome. We understand. It'd be a lot. So we get it. We get it.
We always check. It's funny because even when Jay throws out, let's do, wait, like in my head, I'll go, wait, what about Lord? She got things to do. Let me.
What are you talking about? I don't be throwing out nothing.
When you throw out but like filming, and in my head, I go,
oh, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, because remember, this is our business. So,
Yes.
and part of being a mom, you got to be able to multitask too. And trust me, we keep that in mind. And that's why I love our freeness with one another, where we can have those conversations, because that's something that needs to be had. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're not Beyonce. She got help is different, but there are women every day starting a business and babies in tow. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we gotta keep that in mind. And the beauty of being your own boss is that you're able to, you know, do things at your leisure, at your time, when you need to do it. And we could work around everybody's time schedule, because although she has children, we all have lives outside of doing Dem Wise Girls. So that's the beauty of being your own boss, because you call the shots. You're not looking at no 9 to 5, somebody telling you you gotta be there. We do it when we good and ready to do it, which is why I love doing it, because I enjoy, you know, us having that opportunity and moment and being transparent with one another to have those conversations.
Can I be frank? Can I be?
Yes.
Yes. I
do love, like Jay said, I do love the transparency we do have. And I do love when I get that text, when are we doing this? Sometimes, like today, since I've been home for 2 weeks, I'm like, my body and brain was like,
you're in that funk.
You having a moment. We all do. We all do.
I be in that funk.
I gotta be presentable. And I really wasn't in it, but I had to, you know, because I know we haven't been on it a long time, and I know I haven't.
In part because of my schedule and y'all's schedule.
But I do appreciate that we do have that dialogue of saying, no, we can't do today. Let's try this day. Let's try this day.
Right.
Today. I love that we just don't. Let's just. I'm glad that it's not a spare of a moment. It's like, oh, let's go today. Well, you know, even though I don't have kids, I don't have a wife, I have work, so sometimes that can be stressful, and being home. So I'm glad that we are open and honest, and that's why we the Wise Girls.
Right, exactly. And I appreciate that about our relationship, because we're able to do that and have that openness with one another. Because like I said, you can't tell a boss, oh, I don't feel like doing it today. You know what I'm saying? But because we want to see our people and give them amazing content, you know, you do want to make sure you try and be somewhat present, you know, even if it's 15 minutes for their day. Let's get 15 minutes. And so that way the people see us, they continue to love us, they continue to watch us. Because I just want to say that people have been telling me how much they enjoy watching us and how they enjoy the show, and they watch it and they really listen to it. And that makes me feel good, because sometimes you don't know who you're actually reaching, if you're reaching anybody. And when people give me that feedback and they're like, oh, I love Dem Wise Girls, y'all keep doing them shows, those shows are good, we enjoy them, I listen to them while I'm cleaning my house, or I'm doing this, I'm doing that. That's what drives me to say, yo, we need to film. Like, when can we film? When is it time? Because that's what keeps you moving and motivated and going and saying, you know what, people are listening, they're watching, we got to keep giving them a little something. I don't like to leave our people hanging. I like to leave them saying, y'all, I can't wait to see them next week. Them girls is funny.
Well, I have to say this. I do this, because this is what we do. This is our job. Yes, we have other jobs, but this is our job. This is what we want to do with our extra time. But I also think, for me, it's also a mental check. I check in with you guys. We check in with our friends and our family. Yes, I consider you, our viewers, our friends and our family. So for me, I really enjoy that. And especially hearing the stories from Jade, and even the comments that we receive, you know, in terms of you guys interacting with us, I really appreciate that. That does something for me personally, as well as these other ladies. So I have to say, I have to agree with you guys. But for me, it's like a mental check-in, like I'm doing something worthwhile. I'm affecting someone somewhere.
Even if it's one person, it's somebody who's like, yo, I really enjoy you. I really like this. Like, y'all got to keep it going. You got to keep it moving. And so I guess sometimes I feel a little guilty when it's not moving, because I'm like, man, you don't want to lose viewership. You don't want to lose these people who really take time out to watch you or listen to you. You want to continue to give them something to feed on. So, you know, my mentality, I'm a goal person, go getter. That's just how my mind runs. I'm like, listen, this is what we got to do. This is our job. Let's work it how we need to work it, because this is our bread and butter as well, in addition to what we do outside of that. So, it's always, working mentality for us. And that's why I'm like, listen, we gotta do something. What we doing? When we doing?
And one more thing, and then I'll be finished by that. I have coworkers, and I have one bestie who I ride for her, we ride for each other, and I support her and she supports me. But I have coworkers that are literally like, yo, that show was good. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you watch. What are you doing? I'm like, you watch? Yeah, it's on your Facebook. Oh, okay. So when you hear things like that, even from my mother, oh, you guys doing good. Oh, you watch too? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It makes the purpose a purpose. I hope that makes sense. Sometimes I feel like, oh, we're doing it just to do it. But then you hear like these comments and you be like, oh, people are actually watching and they actually like that. They really like us. So that's a motivation that gets me motivated. See,
I felt like Nelly, in the beginning. I'm like, I don't feel like doing this today. But when I started getting that feedback, I was like, nah, we need to really get serious, and we really need to be out there, because there are people watching. I don't want to leave them hanging. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I think my mindset shifted because of that. And that's why I'm like, okay, when y'all want to do it, when we going to do it, how we going to do it, we got to work together. Let's figure it out, because you're dealing with 3 different people, 3 different schedules, 3 different responsibilities. So you got to get it in where you could fit it in and do the best that you can. So that's why I'm like, what's our next step? What we going to do?
Our viewers are our motivation.
That's right. And we thank you guys for watching, taking time out to watch, sharing. Those of you who share out the show, we thank you so much for doing that, because you don't have to. Those of you who comment, we just appreciate each and every one of you. We do, and that's why we come back and we do it for you. We do it for the people, we do it for the culture.
Speaking of culture, I know, Jade, you had posted something and I had said save it for the show. So go ahead and share out with our viewers what your thoughts were.
In regards to what? I don't even know what you're talking about.
See, this is why. So, culturally, most African American families have older children that continue to live with them despite being older.
Oh, okay. Honey, she had me confused. I was like, what's she talking about?
We just were talking about it.
I had to dig in my brain. I was like, what is she talking about?
See what I'm saying? I know I wasn't. That's why I'm like, what's she talking about? She do be asking me to save stuff, but I be forgetting. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So no, go ahead. So now that I've refreshed you.
So
in terms of culturally, African American adult children continue to remain with their parents in their household. How do you guys feel about should an adult child be contributing to the household? In what way? If so, and if not, why do you think so?
I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna just say this part too. So I've seen it, and I've had discussions with people about it, and I've seen it online. In fact, one of my former students, because I'm saying babies like I had these kids, I didn't, but they were with me at one time, had put it up about parents being there for their kids, but instead they make them pay rent at a certain age, do for themselves also, and they're still living at home. So, our conversation was, do you think it's okay to have your adult child, so let's classify what an adult is. An adult is somebody who's working, making a certain salary yearly, doing for themselves, so to speak. I'm not even talking about somebody in college, because even though some parents do require them to, I'm talking about a full-fledged adult, after 23, 24 years old. Should they be required to pay rent to the household in addition to contributing to the household?
Nelly, go ahead. I'll let you speak first.
So to answer your question, I still live with my parents, and I'm over the adult age. I don't recall when I started paying for rent, but I think it is right because you practically are all living together still, and you eat all day. You eat, you cook, you go. You're using the water, you're using the washing machine, you're using their stuff because it's not your stuff, it's their stuff. Because if you are working a full-fledged job, if you have a career in mind and you're trying to get there and you working, I'm not talking about no. I won't put that out there. But if you are working and you are getting a paycheck and you can afford to give, then you should be able to give something to your parents because they are giving you something that not you can afford, but at the moment of time, you're working on being able to afford your own. You can help pay something, if it's the light bill, the water bill, some part of a rent, or helping out with their mortgage or something. So it's just like you're not using them. It's like, oh, I'm just sitting in this house and just doing nothing. Well, if you're doing something, if you have a job that's paying you, you should be able to help with something. So it's like they give you, your mother gave you life, your dad, whatever, but you should be able to help in an adult life. I hope that came out right because that didn't sound right at all. But I'm done.
No, you explained it very well. I think I have to tag on to what you said. I definitely agree that as an adult child, if you are holding down a job, now I have to say this. I'm going to preface it with this. I have known folks that unfortunately were not able to hold down full-time jobs, that they had kind of like part-time jobs due to limitations that were put on them. I think in that sense, it is a fine dance between contribution. I feel that sometimes parents, how do I say this? Parents treat children sometimes as though they're not their children. And if a parent, in my opinion, is having a child contribute all of their check where they don't have any money left over, so much so that they'll go to eat with the parent, and if they don't have money, oh, well, you're just going to drink a glass of water. Well, that's not right, in my opinion, because now you've made them spend all of their little bit of money, and they can't even afford to eat anything. And you, being their parent, are really going to sit up there and say, oh, have a glass of water? No. But if you're a child that but if you are a child that is able to hold down and make decent amount of money, not crazy money, but contribute, you should absolutely, just like Chanel said, you should be contributing something, maybe not all of your check, but you should be contributing, whether to the household bills, the lights, the water bill, the other utilities that you use in the house, clearly, as well as the grocery bill, because let's face it, You're at home on the weekends, and on the weekends we eat a lot. Like every time we think about it, we go to the fridge and pull something out. And I don't know if you guys grocery shop regularly, but groceries are expensive.
Very
even
expensive.
At Aldi's.
Very expensive. No, they are. They are.
And they're going up even more.
Yeah.
I've been shopping at like Sam's and Costco's, and usually in the past I have experienced a great cost savings doing it that way, buying in bulk. But I mean, every time I go to Sam's or Costco, I'm spending $300 for 3 people. I mean, my toddler, she's 4 years old, but I still count her because she still eats. I mean, she doesn't eat to the extent that we as adults eat, but she still eats.
Yeah.
And you figure that's every 2 weeks for 3 people. And it's only right. I mean, a washing machine and a dryer only work but for so long, and then it has to be replaced. So an adult child definitely needs to be contributing. And if they're not able to contribute financially, they sure as heck should be contributing to the household and cleaning and things of that nature. Because, if you can't contribute monetarily, hey, you're adding dirt to this house. Let's clean it.
Or you're adding garbage to this house. You use water, so you should wash your sink.
Exactly.
Now, I will say, as a child, as an adult, I lived with my parents, and I was maybe not the best. I contributed monetarily to things, certain things. But in terms of household things, like cleaning and things, I will say I slacked. And in hindsight, I would like to raise my child a little bit differently. No disrespect, differently. And that my child is very headstrong, just like me. She makes a terrible, terrible mess. And then she walks off into the sun. Just walks off into the sun. And I think in truth, she probably gets that from me genetically, because I'm just like that. But now, being that it's my household, I have to clean it up.
Right.
So I would like her to have a little bit more of responsibility with that, because, when you get older, you have to have a clean home. And I learned that the hard way by having to be grown up.
At least you learned.
I learned. And it's funny because all those years I was fighting my mom. I'm not doing that. My sister does that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And you know what?
You wasn't doing nothing, huh?
Okay.
In hindsight, 2020, I'm getting all of what I deserve. All of it.
Payback.
Right? And I also want to say this. A lot of times parents think, my child's 18, I raised you till you're grown, you can leave. That's not a parent. You're forever a parent. And I can say that even just with having my eldest child be 4 years old. I could never turn my back on my child and say, now you got to get out. You're 18. I've raised you. You're grown. I don't know how many times I've heard people say that, and it hurts me. It hurts me to hear that, because you will never
18
stop
is
being my
not
child.
grown. 18.
No, you still gotta learn. It's still life. You're still learning.
Sorry to say, but you still sucking on the boob at 18.
Yeah, you're still learning. You're still learning. And I agree with what you guys said. I do believe as an adult child, you contribute to the household. You help in any way you can financially. And I know in my household, I contribute, I help, I pay certain bills because, I'm an adult child. I live at home with my mama. When I go to the grocery store, it's not just for me. I go for her too. What would you like? What would you need? When I order food, it's not just for me. Mommy, what do you want to eat? What would you like to eat? It's not just about me. I'm in a household with somebody else. So I'm going to make sure she's taken care of as well, because she continues to take care of me. Now, I'll never forget this. I was in a store a couple of months back, and this woman was talking to her friend, and she was like, yeah, these kids eat a lot. I got these adults in my household, but she said one thing they do contribute and give me money to go to the store. And so her friend was like, what? You have them give you money? She said, yeah, they openly, I guess, give the mother money to go to the supermarket to buy stuff and buy things because, they're adults. She's like, I feel like even though they're my adult children and they live in my household, they do solely take care of themselves. And she said, and I don't burden them to give me money to pay for it because guess what? I got to live here whether they here or not. So I got to pay that, but they do take care of themselves and they do contribute when they can. They give me money to go to the grocery store because they know they be in here eating. And she said, and as a parent, I could work with that because they don't have to give me money. They don't have to take care of themselves. She said, they don't ask me for money to go on vacation. They pay for their own vacations. They do their own thing. And I really, really respected that because sometimes, parents are like, well, you're going to have to give me this for the rent and whatever. And some people do it. That's their thing. Some parents do it and maybe put that money to the side for the kid in case anything happens. And I respect that. But my thing is, if I got to live there,
really put it to the side for the child.
Right. Really put it to the side for the child, not going to get their hair and nails done. Right.
Okay.
But I could respect that. But my thing is, if the person I gotta live there whether the child's there or not. So why should I put that burden on them if I still have to live here, whether they go out on their own or not? The rent still got to be paid. I'd rather them put that money to the side and save their money or be able to invest their money. That's one thing. We don't teach certain financial literacies to young people that we should teach them because they get to a certain age and they don't know. That's why Bessie Sue could drive around in her Range Rover at a certain age because Bessie Sue's parents invested, and sometimes we're not in a position to do so, but baby, $2-3 go a long way. One thing my grandmother does, my grandmother saved her money. Honey, that woman saved. She saves very, very, very well and very, very good. She always puts her stuff in envelopes and she's like, this is for this, this is for this, this is for this. And I feel we have to teach our children that because otherwise they think money, it does grow on trees. But one thing I know I do, whenever I get paid, bills get paid first. Anything after that, that's after that. But bills get paid first. This ain't we going shopping, we going out to eat. No, bills got to get paid because I need a car to drive. I need to make sure I'm insured. I need to make sure I have a cell phone. I need to make sure I have this and I have that. So I'm in a sense in a space where if I ever do become a parent, I would like my child to help in the household because I do feel it teaches responsibility. But as a parent, me personally, and too, depending on who I get with, he got to be on the same page as me. I wouldn't make them pay us rent per se. Yeah, you might could handle this.
Not necessarily rent,
right. But here, contribute to the house like this or like that. But because I hear people straight up rant. Oh, I got to give my mother rent money, or I got to give my father rent money. I got to give this one rent money. No, this is the bill you're going to handle, and this is what you're going to do. Now, if I had a child who was not responsible, then in that situation, yes, you're going to give me rent money. But if I have a child, I see them responsible and they taking care of business and they don't come to me for nothing, save your money for a rainy day. That way, anything happen, you could handle your own.
I just, I think a lot of people are very adamant that I want my child to know that, this is what is real. It's like in the real world. And that's fine and well to teach your child that. I just get upset sometimes where, just like you, we work in education. And sometimes you hear these stories where, oh, well, I had to pay my parents' rent and this, that, and the third, and I don't have nothing to eat. That's the first experience I had shared with you guys. That's where I get upset because what then is the parent contributing if the child is giving all of their hard-earned little money to you from working at I don't know, at a outlet, not an outlet, at McDonald's or something. That's where I get upset when I hear stuff like that. And then I feel like I have to compensate because not that the child is telling me to make me compensate, to help them. But the child clearly, like I can't say, hey, let me just mentor you. Let's grab something to eat. Let me spend a little quality time with you. They can't eat. That's not right for me to sit there and eat in front of you.
In that case, I think that's where the parents have to have a conversation with the adult. Yes. Are we still talking about adult child?
Well,
he's talking about a college age child at this point. Okay. Well, a college student, not a child, but a
anywhere
college
from
student.
18 to 21.
So that's at that point, like I think even in that sense, you need to have a conversation of, okay, so you're working, not in the beginning, because when you first start working, you don't get much, you don't start saving.
Exactly.
But when you are starting to save and you can get things on your own, and your parents, they do watch you and they be like, oh, you getting this, you getting that. Okay, so we need to have a conversation of what are you able to contribute since you live here? You have a job. You're trying to save. I know you don't make a lot. I'm not going to ask you for $1,000 a week. But how much can you? What is your check? You don't even have to do that. But how much can you contribute to living in this household? If I would like for you to start. Not even starting, but what can you?
What can you give? Mm-hmm.
What can you give? Because I know when I was getting older, and it was like, all right, so. And I was like, okay, so this is what I can afford. And, and they gave me not a rate, but they gave me, okay, this is gonna be it. Can you afford that? Yeah, I can afford that. And we had the conversation and that stuck. So it's like, I think you need to have that open communication and be able to say, Mom, I can only afford this amount to give you to food, or this amount to give, but don't tell the child, give me your whole check.
But that's the sad reality. Some parents are, give me your whole check. I had a student straight up tell me if she goes and lives with her mother down in Florida, she's gonna have to give her $800 for rent. $800 for rent, and she in college. Like, it's sad, but that's the unfortunate reality that some people have to turn around and deal with. They don't have parents per se, or maybe they weren't in a position, I'm going to say, where they learned to say, you know what can you do? That was beautiful. You had that conversation with your parents now, because not everybody has that, Some people are like, okay, this is what you could do. This is, well, I need this, because this has got to contribute. You in this household, you're going to have to give me this for rent. You're going to have
to learn X amount of dollars.
Exactly. But I feel like you put your child back, because instead of teaching them to say, okay, this is how you save, this is how you pay your bills, this is what you do. That's my mother from day one. When I started working, every time I got paid, my bills got paid first.
And my mom still
nothing else. Anything else after that, you put in savings, or you could go and do what you want to do. But that check hit, my bills are getting paid, because we need to make sure we're able to continue to do what we got to do up in here. And that's just how I am. I write down my bills every month, what I got to pay, what I got to do, so I know. And that's just how I am. And if I have a child, I want to teach them to be that same way. But the sad reality, some parents don't function like that. They like, well, you don't give me this. You're giving me this money.
I think in our society that we live in now, we have a lot of families that have 8, 9 kids that are living in poverty areas, and they can't get a job, or they're on welfare, and they are looking for their older kids to go out and work and bring back what they have at home, but bring back to what they can supply at home. And sadly, we are living in that age now where you get these young kids and they are working because mommy has 4 or 5 kids, and mommy either is on drugs or on something where mommy can't work, or mommy's getting money from the government, but it's not a lot. So they look to these kids and say, well, you want to eat, you gonna give. And it's like, but I want to, have my own, but I don't care. You want your brother, sister, someone to starve, and it's like, now you're making them feel guilty. They're not. That's
Exactly.
not
And it's not their responsibility.
It's not. And they're already getting money. They're getting money from the city because they're probably getting food stamps or whatever and certain things. It's just a mentality that has been taught to them that they continue to repeat. And that mentality continues to go on, which is sad until you find someone who breaks the mentality and say, I'm not going to do this no more. I'll contribute, but I'm going to contribute X amount of money.
Yeah. I really think it's how your lifestyle is, how you are living with your parents. If you're living in a nice area and you can do what you need to do and they're doing what they need to do and you come together and have an open communication, that's fine. But you have a lot of kids that are living in these ghetto areas and they were out here working 14, 13 and they got to come home and give mommy the money because mommy needs it for their brother and she's pregnant. And so it's like all these kids are coming from very sad, unfortunate environments. And they grow up to be older and that's all they know. So it's like if somebody, like you said, Jay, somebody breaks it, it's like, I've been giving money to my mom since I was 12. And it's like, wait, what?
And you only break it if you know people who teach you, this is what you do. This is how you break it. Because otherwise it's a recycle that constantly repeats itself. And that's the sad part because I see it all the time with students. Oh, I got to give my parents this. Students who get back bank and financial aid money. I got to give my parents this. I'm like, what? Huh? Excuse me? I'm like, I understand you. I mean, they do have the food pantry, but you could go there but so many times. Yeah. I mean, they got a nice one though at my job because I wanted to go, but staff can't. It's only for the kid, but I wanted to go because it was a nice pantry, child. It was a nice pantry. They got some nice stuff in there. But I'm just saying, and then that's where I try and educate my students because they'll go out and buy Jordans or get this and get that. And I'm like, no, you need to put your money to the side. You need to save your money for a rainy day because some of these kids get back some guap. I'm not talking $400. I'm talking thousands. They're getting back from financial aid. And that's why I said, instead y'all out here being flown out, you need to be putting that money up and you need to be saving it.
So, this brings up something I would like to share with our viewers. One of those programs that you and I were talking about maybe like last year, 2021, a savings program, more or less. You put it together or put aside a couple dollars and you may have a goal. You might want to save $5,000 by the end of the year. You might want to save $10,000. So I would like to share with our viewers next show a couple of those various programs that we can put into effect. And maybe together we can all save some guap.
Absolutely. We should all challenge each other to save some guap. I think that would be awesome.
Let's do a 2020
do that. Challenge. Yes. I think, and all of our people, our family, friends, you guys, we talking to you. If you want to get in on the challenge, get in on the challenge with us because we're going to do this together and we're going to help each other and save together. So we could go into 2023 with some little bit of extra money. Okay.
So if you guys have any programs that you would like to, please go ahead and drop them in the comments below.
Yes, so we can shave it out. So we can shave it out. So we can save it out. We can share it out with you guys.
I want to shave my hair. Oh no.
So we can share it out with you guys. So as always, it's been thebomb.com. Conversations are always good. We keep it real here, right here on Dem Wise Girls 24/7, 7 days a week, 365, 366 if it's a leap year. We keep it 150. So we hope to see you guys next week with a whole brand new episode of Dem Wise Girls. And as always, we thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and make sure you get on our YouTube page and subscribe to our page on YouTube. We will keep you laughing for days, and all of our episodes episodes are uploaded to our YouTube page. So we hope you guys are doing amazing. Be safe, continue to mask up, and make sure you guys put on that sanitizer because it ain't no fun out here with the big O out in these streets, okay? So we'll see you next time on a brand new episode of Dem Wise Girls. Later.